Hey lovers, hope you're doing amazing. I got a fresh word from God, and I'm always thirsty for Him. I'm always seeking Him, and this was a word that I thought was for me. And He said it's important that you share this with people, and somebody might become free. So this is for you. I'll start off by saying that I was in prayer, and which is normal, but recently I went through something that pretty much shook everything around me and my family, and at the core of who I am, it shook everything except my faith. And I said to myself, God, this isn't normal. People get news like this, people find stuff out like this, they retreat, depression. I was like, but I don't know, it seemed like you might have really delivered me from depression, but the enemy still came, and I began to feel stuck, or just little confused or lost, or literally up against a wall spiritually is how I was feeling. So I was in prayer, and I want to encourage a lot of you, when you get into prayer, don't forget to listen. We spend so much time asking for things, but a lot of times God is trying to give us guidance for what we should even be seeking. So always seek Him, right? And I'm in prayer, and I've, talked a little bit. I'm just kind of meditating. I'm listening, and my heart is just pouring out, to God, and, just really thirsty for where I'm at and how I'm feeling. And God began to show me a vision of myself. And it was like I was up against this huge wall, and I'm scratching at the wall, and I'm just like scratching. It's not like rock climbing style. Like every time I get up a little bit, I'm falling back down, and it's just this wall. It looks like there's no way out, right? Then after that part of the vision, when that happened, I was good with that. I was like, that's exactly how I feel. I feel up against the wall. I feel like I'm scratching. I feel like I don't have the proper equipment. This is how I feel, God. So He said, oh yeah. And within that same vision, He took that little girl of me that was scratching against that wall, and He pulled me all the way back. And He showed me that it wasn't even a wall I was scratching at. It was actually these great stairs, right? Steps that led all the way up to this great throne. And as He was pulling me back and showing me that it wasn't a wall, it was a step, I began to grow in the vision. Next thing you know, I was a giant. And the same wall that I was scratching at, I began to trample and walk over like Godzilla. I was just walking up the same thing that I was just scratching. What am I getting at? What is God getting at? Stop expecting God to shrink your problems. He refuses to shrink your issue. He will only make you bigger. He will only make you bigger. What do I mean by that? Stop expecting God to make that problem you have with alcoholism smaller instead of Him making you bigger. See, the day that you probably decide you want to stop drinking, they'll probably build a liquor store around the corner of your house, or your cousins that never swore they drink before are going to invite you over for an open bar. Stop expecting God to make that thing smaller and let Him make you a giant. You want to give up pornography. Guess what? They're not about to stop making porn apps. They're going to make more and more. So that's why it's important for you to become bigger than that thing. We get mad because God won't vanish stuff out of our life, but He's trying to grow us up. And think about it. Going from something small to big, that involves being stretched. So let God stretch you and make you a giant, so you don't have to scratch at things. You can trample them and be who you are and walk like you're a king's kid. You know what I mean? He's not shrinking your problems. He's only going to make you bigger. I love you guys.